So this is Smart Plans 101, which is pretty much the only Smart Plan class that I do teach. Like with anything, we're always gonna make sure that we log in to Command. So it's agent.kw.com is the login for it. You can also Google KW Command and it comes up that way as well. But most of the time, you're probably gonna see agent or it'll say console.kw.com, which is all the same thing. Whenever I first get started with any sort of training, I always make sure to draw attention to up here in the right-hand corner, your name or your headshot. That is where you're gonna find your settings. And I always wanna make sure that your settings are exactly where they need to be before you get started. I'm gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom because that's what matters. So we have some different email services here. So we have Command Email. You do get 5,000 emails per month that are included with your KW Command site. And then that way you can use them for Smart Plans or emailing directly. There's also MailChimp, which is different email campaigns. Again, this is just a different format to use for your emails and your Smart Plans. And then we also have Twilio, which is automated texting services that you can add into your profile to do automatic texting instead of text tasks, which then tell you to text somebody. These will automatically go out. You can subscribe in the marketplace. So if you basically hit that, then the marketplace will open and it gives you your options for Twilio. It's pretty reasonable for like 300 text messages per month. It's $3.16. If you do not use a credit, it will roll over to your next month. So you're not going to lose out on them or anything like that. They do roll over.
And what does that do again? It just does them automatically?
Yep. So if you have texting in your Smart Plans, then it won't be a task. It'll be an automatic text. It'll automatically send out. A lot of times the really easy ones for that are birthdays. So then that way you don't have to personally text them. It comes from your Twilio. I will say this is not going to be from your number. This is going to be from a Twilio number. But you can put in the body text that says that's your name, your cell phone number, or please respond to this. You can text back and forth through Twilio as well. But if you are wanting it to brand directly to yourself, you can add that to the message.
And then the MailChimp, that's just for emails. And is that also a cost or?
That's included. You do only get one audience though. If you want more audiences or you want to send more text or more emails out per month, you do have to subscribe. It is a different amount.
And what do you mean one audience? Like what would an audience be?
A group of people to send it to. Okay. Yeah, and then Command Email is included. So that's typically what we do most of the time. So Katya is our marketing coordinator and she does a lot of newsletters for agents. So it's like monthly newsletters. She sends majority of them through Command Email. She only has one client that she sends it through MailChimp. And it's just personal preference. The other thing I do always like to bring up is our connect settings, making sure that your marketing profile is updated because this does syndicate to a lot of different features within Command. So designs and stuff like that, it's personally branded to you. So making sure that your marketing profile is up to date with your information, with your headshots, your logos, biographies, everything, including everything involving any of that. That also goes for like some automated Smart Plans that do go out that link to your website. It's making sure that all of your information is also on there so that somebody knows how to get in contact with you. So marketing profile, very, very important, making sure that it's updated. I'm going to show a couple things within contacts really fast. So you do have the option to add bulk items or bulk people to Smart Plans. And you basically just select them and then click this little actions and then add to Smart Plans. So you can do a bulk add through contacts. That's where you're going to be able to get the most added at a time. You can, again, filter from tags, which is what I highly recommend, making sure that every single contact is tagged because you can filter by a tag. And then, let me see. Filter by a tag, and then you can bulk add to a Smart Plan. Makes it nice and easy for you because then that way it's going, maybe it's specific people like family and friends you want to send one newsletter to, and maybe it's past clients you want to send another newsletter to, something like that. The other thing is within your contacts. Oh, hold on. I have to turn off my filters. They're all. Okay. If you do select or click on a contact, you'll notice that there is a Smart Plans tab within their detail card. So you basically can click on that. You can see what Smart Plans that those contacts are part of. You can also add them to another Smart Plan here by simply clicking this. This does have to be in the Smart Plans that are in your library, but we'll look at that in just a second. But yeah, you can see which ones they're on. You can see what the steps are, and you can also remove them from it here as well. Questions on that? Cool. Okay, so next we're gonna go to the actual Smart Plans tab, which is this little, looks like a calendar, like reminders and stuff, which is very true. That's what Smart Plans technically are. Either reminders for yourself you can set up, or also staying in contact with your clients. And then that way either you're calling them or texting them or following up with them based on what Smart Plans you have them on. You'll notice that I do have this blue bar right here, and it's saying that my Twilio account is not connected. That's because I don't have one connected to it. So it does give you a lot of prompts throughout it to make sure that you're not adding something that you can't. So that's really nice. You'll notice here that I do have my own People's Plans. That is basically all the Smart Plans that I currently have in my library. You'll notice that some of these have a little eyeball with a little number next to it. That means I have that many people added to that Smart Plan that are currently receiving it. If you click on it, you can remove people. You can select them and remove them. You can select just one person and remove them, but it's nice and easy so you can see who's on it. You can see on the right-hand side here, you can also add a contact directly to that Smart Plan, little person with a plus sign. You can edit this Smart Plan, or you can also click the three dots. You can copy it, publish it to a library, or delete it. So publishing it to the library is this lovely library that's up here. That is where all of Keller Williams can add Smart Plans to it. So that way you're not having to go back and recreate your own Smart Plan. You can use one and edit it to be what you are wanting to show your clients or send to them. I'm gonna scroll up, and I am gonna go ahead and click on, I'm gonna edit this Smart Plan. You can also create Smart Plans here too. So right here in the right-hand corner, just like anything else in Command to add something or create something or add or do something new, you just click the little blue button. Here is a Smart Plan, so test class plan, and you can go ahead and create it. This is gonna be an absolute blank slate, okay? So this is pretty much nothing is added to it. So then over here, you'll see on the left-hand side, I have my little artist palette that I can add these things into my Smart Plan. You can add days, repeating, and then it'll show you exactly what day it is that the Smart Plan would end based on how many things that you're adding. Over here on the right is actually where you're gonna edit things. So this is just my plan details thing. If I wanna edit the name, then I can. Right now, these are the steps that are currently in it. And then you can also do remove contact when, this is actually really cool. So you can actually have your contacts automatically be removed from it, which is nice. If you're doing a long-term nurture and then they finally start to email you back, then they'll automatically be removed from the plan. So that way you're not having to go in and do it. Really, really cool.
What types of things other than a newsletter? Like what types of things do you send out? for your
Open house
Smart-
follow-ups, monthly neighborhood nurtures, bi-weekly neighborhood nurtures, quarterly call plans, 8x8s, which is basically just keeping in contact with them. Just like, hey, how's it going? Want to grab coffee? Follow-ups, just pretty much just trying to keep in constant contact, because if they're getting information from you or communication from you, they're most likely going to end up using you either in the next month, 2 months, 4 months, 3 years, whatever it is, because you're the one that's actually sending them stuff. Yep. I am actually going to go out of this because I don't want to do one from scratch. I'm just going to grab one from my library that I already have. So I do have an open house follow-up one, which this one is 21 days long, and it is 8 personal touches or total touches throughout the 21 days. So I'm gonna click edit, and then this is now gonna show me that these are the things that are included in this Smart Plan that's already created. Okay,
So did you get that from the library?
Yep.
Or you created it yourself?
nope, I got it from the library. I do not create any from scratch. I take a lot of them on my own and from the library, and then I edit them, I remove things, change out dates, but most likely it was added to the library because it was pretty good. And you'll notice, I'm gonna show the library at the end, so then that way you can get see what's on there too.
Okay.
This over here again is your little artist palette. So we do have, this is day one, they're gonna receive a text message. So you have an open house on Sunday, you add them to this plan that night, they'll go ahead and receive the text message the next morning. This right here, I just clicked on this step. It shows what this is, like what's in it. So it's obviously again saying my Twilio account is not connected, but this is going to be the text message that is included. So it says, hey, thanks for coming by. What did you think of the open house? They can respond to it. You can also change this to a text task. All I did was click, hold on. All I did was click this little pencil right here. You can also delete this step if you want to, so that's an option as well. I'm gonna go ahead and click the little pencil. You can do a text task. Now this will come through as a task in your notifications that you get every single morning through your app. This will show, this is the text message that you need to send to these people, because maybe 10 people came to your open house, you added them all to the smart plan. Now you gotta start following up with them too. You can enter tasks names and everything. I'm gonna go back to the automated text, and you'll notice that there's a text type here, which is static or dynamic. Static means it's one simple text. So if you have this as a repeating smart plan, then that means like once it reaches this step again, it will send them the same text message. There's an option for a dynamic text so that you can actually add multiple messages. And as it goes through a repeating smart plan, every time it hits this step, it will do a new text message. And it's a totally different one, which you're putting the text in for it. That's basically like I said, those long-term nurtures. So you still want to send them a text every single month and an email every single month, then it's basically going to have a different message for those however many that they allow.
And will that message show your number?
No,
Your
you have to
contact?
add it.
That's gonna be, because it's not through the Twilio thing,
This
right?
is through Twilio.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep, it's always through Twilio because remember it's automatic.
Okay.
You can have text tasks, but then you can't, I don't think you can add multiple. Yeah, you can't add multiple text messages to it, but then at that point, you would just be adding different texts throughout the whole process. So you would just add another text message over here. You would just add another text message, maybe on day 11, like, okay, 11 days later, I'm gonna send them another text, but it's text task. And you're just gonna put exactly what you're gonna put in that text message because you can copy and paste it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back here really fast. Oh, it does actually now have a send from, so it does actually probably say your name. I don't know if it'll have your actual text message or your actual phone number though. That's new. This also shows like text details. So this is showing when should the text be sent, and it's day one, and then you can add when you actually want the time of day. So if I wanted it on day 2, hold on. Here, I'll show it in just a second. What's nice about this though is it is all TCPA compliant. You'll notice that it does have the TCPA do not call list stuff down here, and they're able to opt out at any time. This is kind of cool. So if triggered between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m., the text will send after 8 a.m. So you will not be sending automatic text messages through in the middle of the night. They are only allowed during business hours.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. So now this was day 1. Now we're on day 2. Here's a task. So here is just sending an email to this person and this person. This is the description of it. And maybe it's because you are wanting to get more specific. Thank you for coming by my open house. This is the address, da, 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 da. And then that way, if you did host maybe 2 open houses that weekend, then you know which people that actually came to each one. So you can get pretty creative with that. Then, let me go up here and just see. So I just clicked a little edit pencil again. So these are what we call merge tags. So it's going to automatically pull their name and their names or phone numbers or, emails or whatever. Send a nice to meet you an open house email to your lead as part of the open house follow-up. Down here is priority levels. You can make those too. You can have when the task is due, what time you're wanting it to be sent. So I would actually probably want this at 10:59 a.m. And then this is showing any time of day, but there is also this option where it will send early morning, morning, afternoon, and evening. So these are different tasks so this task would actually show up on your task list at 11 a.m. And then this is when it would actually be created if it was sending out like maybe an automatic email. So it'll give you that option too. Here is making a phone call. And again, just to add more of these, you just grab them from over here and you just drag and drop them. I always highly recommend whenever you are using Smart Plans to add yourself to it. So then that way you are also seeing what is coming from you if it's a lot of automated things, such as like different emails or something, or if you are using Twilio, it's always important to have yourself as like a guinea pig on there. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. Oh, make a call. Okay, so this is a call type task. So this will show call this person. Here's the description, open house follow-up call. Pretty much just stating this is what you're gonna do. Again, they come through as a notification, you call them, and then once you get done with the phone call, a box pops up and says, how did it go? And that way you can go ahead and put your notes for that contact on how that phone call went. Few different things here, kind of very similar again to how email it's just their tasks. That's pretty much what they are because we don't have an automatic dialer. So it's going to come through like it says make a call, but it's going to come through as a task. Okay. So same thing, just like it did with creating a task. Then of course we're adding other days. We're waiting 3 days. We're waiting 11 days, and you can add more days throughout here. You want it to wait 4 days maybe. Now we're on day 15 and then we're on day 18. So you can actually see what day that they will be receiving that after you have added them to the Smart Plan. So this makes it really easy. This is a pretty new feature. They've updated this recently in the last couple of months, and it's kind of nice because it does help you see exactly what day that they're actually receiving that. So it's really nice and easy.
And then if people reply to that,
yeah,
like the email that goes out, does it come through on my regular work email?
It
like
should, yes.
Response?
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's sending it, remember from your settings?
From MailChimp or is it from?
No, it's from your command email.
Okay.
Then you can manage it and you can manage what email it's replying to. So if you would want to use your KW email and then it would respond back to that email. But what's really cool too is it will also show up in their timeline that they received that specific email, and there'll be a thread in there as well. So it shows in their timeline too. Good question. I forgot to show that. Okay. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. So at the very end of this Smart Plan, there's on day 21, it says it adds to another Smart Plan. You can link your Smart Plans to add from this. This is basically pretty much if they have not responded to anything, then they would be added to a long-term nurture. And pretty much that's just again, email, text message, phone call, maybe every month, every couple of months. But it's just less bombardment than this over the course of 21 days after your open house. But it is really cool because you can, again, remove contact when they text back or when they email back. So that's a really nice feature as well. Questions on kind of editing, creating, changing Smart Plans?
I don't think so.
Cool. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about here is your library. So like I said, this is the library that you can pull from. So that way you can add them to your own library to use with your clients. What's nice about this is, again, people are creating them for you. You can just go in and make your edits, so like either the email or the text messages or whatever you're wanting to say, or branding it all to you. That is really, really important to make sure that it is getting branded to you. Okay. What's nice is you can search, so you can search for Smart Plan names. Let me see, let's do 8x8. So 8x8 new contact engagement. This one is created by Keller Williams. Now, I will mention some of the Keller Williams smart plans, they cannot, like the steps and stuff cannot be moved around because a lot of them are time sensitive. So birthday ones, it's automatically triggered to pull based on when their birthday is, and you can't do that unless you have theirs. They have a special algorithm for it. So you can't make a ton, you can't like move things around, but you can move, you can change the content. So you can say like, happy birthday, hope it's a great day, you know, let me know if you need anything or what are your plans? Because asking a question in those is really great contact or really great feedback to get back. Then that way you can have that conversation. So if people do respond and say, oh, I'm going to the lake today for my birthday, then it'll be like, oh, that's so great. Do you have a house down there? Are you renting? And then maybe that could be like, oh, I'm actually looking to buy one. You just never know. So it's really great when you are sending holiday messages that are automatic, asking a question.
And then
Yeah.
why is it called 8x8?
So this is pretty much, it's 15 steps, it's 8 touches. Okay, so I'm gonna view the steps here. First one, so this is a new contact 8x8. So it's pretty much just stating your first step is gonna be sending a text message. It's gonna wait 7 days. Then it's gonna be a touch task for an email, delay, phone call, delay. It's just kind of what it's basically like, you're touching them 8 times, however, you're like, it's over, I think it's 8 weeks. Duration 50 days, so that's probably 8 weeks. Probably. So yeah, 8 days, 8 weeks. Here's like an internet lead one. This one's pretty cool. Sending a text, very similar. Very, very similar. I'm gonna add that one. But yeah, it's pretty much like, what are you looking for? What are you needing? You can also search by author name. One of my favorite authors, or one of my favorite people that create smart plans is Kimber Walton. She does a 36 touch with like part 1, part 2, part 3, and it is based on NAR, so it's National Association of Realtors. And she has it so that it's specific to like, how's the market, what's going on, spring cleaning, like just, she has them all detailed out and ready for you to use and just put your clients on it. So she's really great too. And you just click add plan. Yeah. This is only 4 touches. This one's 3 touches, probably because it's just weekly. They get an email once a week that has the market stats all around the country. Because she's actually based out of Utah. But super, super cool. Just a really easy way. Some of my favorite smart plans that I like to mention that I say to use is, oh, we still have Blake up here. Okay, some of my ones, there's 4 smart plans that I think everyone should be using. However, the most easiest one that you can do is the quarterly call plan. What do you need? Honey marker.
Squeaky.
I know, they're all squeaky. Quarterly call plan, you basically add every single contact that is in your command to the quarterly call plan. Super easy, right? I'll show you here in just a second how to add people, so that way I've got some tricks for it. The other one is birthday. Super easy to find their birthdays. Majority of the time, they're probably on Facebook. So when you go through and clean up your contacts, go ahead and make sure you're adding their birthdays, then add them to the quarterly or the birthday smart plan.
Yeah, I think like I have 1 birthday listed in my
Yeah.
smart plans because they're all on social media. And then I go there and wish people a happy birthday and,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Birthday, home anniversary, that's another one, especially being a new agent who maybe has not had a transaction yet. No problem. Just note that whenever you do sell a house, go into their contact card, update their address, and update what date that they closed on their house, right? Because then that way, once a year, they'll be on that smart plan and it'll say, hey, these are how many home anniversaries I have. Guess where else that is located? That and these 2 are both located on your homepage. Those widgets at the very top.
On command?
Yep.
Okay.
See? Birthdays, home anniversaries. This is my birthday. That's why it's on there, because it's in my contact card. Shows you how many birthdays in the next 30 days.
Okay.
Right? So that's on your homepage. And then that's an easy way for you to be like, oh, I need to go in and make sure that they're on my birthday smart plan. Or, oh, I need to make sure that they're on my home anniversary smart plan. But this is something that you can do after every transaction to make sure that you go in and update that and add them to it. It's the easiest thing you can do. That way next year you can wish them a happy home, 1-year home anniversary. How are you liking your house? Or what if it's 3 or 4 years? Happy 4-year home anniversary. Are you like, I don't know, you still live in your house? And then they'll be like, no, I'm actually not, I'd like to move. Okay, great. Love it. These are so easy though, for those ones. The other one is the monthly neighborhood nurture. This is for anyone who is currently wanting to look for a home, so you're working with buyers. Or it could be for anybody who's currently living in a home that you have their address in their contact card. Why? Because this will then send them a monthly email that's curated from your website for their neighborhood that they're currently living in. And then they can actually see what homes are for sale in their neighborhood. And they can be like, oh, this home around the corner just went up for sale and it's listed for this. I paid $30,000 less than that and my house is better than this one. It's bigger, it's remodeled. What could I get? And it starts that conversation, right? It also shows that they were recently active if they go and click on your listing. So if they go and click on a listing inside that email, it will show that they were recently active.
So
on
it's
your
only
website.
for people in your neighborhood that tell you they want to look for a house, or could you just do it
You can just add it to
kind of like a newsletter kind of thing? It's just
basically,
like
but you're not having to do anything with it. It's not even, it's like specially curated and I'll show you what it looks like. Cause I get it every single month. I get one of these. Oh gosh. hold on.
from yourself or,
Mhm.
okay,
Cause again, add yourself as a guinea pig, so you're able to see it, right?
yeah.
Neighborhood updates. Here's the last one I got, or well, it's not the last one, it's just the only one I had on here. February 6th, this is the email that I got. See, it's branded to you. That's why it's really important to make sure that you're keeping that marketing profile updated with your information because it's personally branding it to you. This is showing my record report for Hickory Hills because I have a few neighborhoods that are attached to my contact. So this is one of the neighborhoods that's in there. This shows how many properties are currently for sale in that neighborhood. There was 5, average list price, average price per square foot, days on market, pending properties, shows all of them there. I go ahead and I click on here on that listing. They're currently working on the website. So for some super odd reason, when I click on these, because these are a lot older, they're not populating and I don't know why. But featured listings and stuff like that, even open houses are showing up here, but typically it would take them to the exact listing from that. I know that they've been making a lot of updates because I just was on a call for it. So typically it does go to that listing that you're clicking on.
So when you set this up and you say the neighborhood,
Yep,
will it populate that information that you just showed
Yep.
automatically?
Automatically.
For that neighborhood?
Yep.
And then send it out?
yeah, it automatically sends out that email. I do not touch it. I have not looked at that in months.
Okay.
I have not touched it. It automatically gets generated from the website.
Why, it's a smart plan, right?
Yes.
Because it's smart.
Because
does it
it's
by
smart,
itself.
exactly. But yeah, it shows, so these are the 2 neighborhoods that I currently have attached to my detail card, so that's why it's sending me those emails for that. Now, I do wanna talk about adding people to Smart Plan, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's try and add somebody, so here's a Smart Plan. I wanna go ahead and add all of these people onto it, okay? So all I did was click the little plus button. Now, I will tell you that you can only add up to 20 people inside the Smart Plan. So that's why I say you can go to your contacts and filter and then do a bulk add to Smart Plan. Then you can select hundreds of people at a time if you wanted to, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add to Smart Plan. These are all missing emails, no big deal. I clicked add to Smart Plan anyways. So this basically states when should the Smart Plan start? You can start it now. So if it is just a monthly neighborhood nurture, it's not a big deal. You can do that. You can start it on a specific date. So if you're like, I don't want them to get it I want them to get it at the beginning of each month, you can have that specified. There's also the stagger start. This is what I recommend for your quarterly call plan. So like these ones, it doesn't really matter because this stuff, a lot of it's automatic text tasks. These are grabbing it from the dates that are included in the contact cards. And this was just an email, so you can, like I said, do you wanna have it go out at the beginning of the month? Totally fine. Quarterly call plan, you don't wanna be calling 150 people every day, right? So you do a stagger start and it states that you can, ooh, that's still a lot of people. You can have it just send you 7 of these people a day, and then that's how you know, okay, I need to call 7 people today. And then as you're adding your contacts in, just go ahead and click like add quarterly call plan to every single person that you're adding in. And then that way that number will grow. I say start small, start at 5, because you're probably gonna increase that to maybe 10 or 12 or 15 people as you're adding more people to your database, which is great, right? Because you've already had that relationship with somebody, but immediately when you put them into your command, add them to the quarterly call plan. You're calling them 4 times a year, not anything crazy. And like,
you literally have to call them, or can you just text them or something?
you can
and
text them
count
if
that
you
as a
want
call?
to. However, the big benefit of a call plan is because you can usually get a little bit more relational with them on the phone call.
Okay.
Now, if it is just a text message, like you are really just checking in with them, maybe you called them 2 weeks ago and you set a task that says like, oh, text them in 2 weeks just as a follow-up, because maybe they were going on vacation and they said that, or maybe they were traveling to go see a new grandbaby or something like that. Then that way you can text them 2, 3, 4 weeks after you had just called them, because they said that they were gonna go on vacation in 2 weeks. So then on the 3rd week, you'll send them a text, hey, how was your trip visiting your new grandbaby? I bet that was so special, right? And it's just like, they're gonna be like, oh, wow, that was so nice that you remembered that.
So if I'm doing something that individual and not a bulk thing?
Yeah. You can do
where
a
do I
task.
put that on there? I just do
Nope.
a task?
You do
or-
a task for a contact.
Okay.
So you go to your contacts, you can also just go to tasks, totally up to you. Like with anything in Command, there's always 2 or 3 ways to do something. It's all linked in. So you can do creating a task right here and go ahead and link a contact. And then you can do a text, and then you can put the description that basically says, text them to ask them how it was visiting their grandbaby, right? You can do priority levels, due dates, repeating, all of that. Within your contacts, you basically just click on the contact, click on tasks, create. And what's nice about that is it's already gonna link to a contact, but you can link it to more.
Okay.
No, that's a great question. Yeah, so then this is your, remember, I talk about it all the time. Your task list is your to-do list every single day. So you get in there and then you see, oh, I gotta do 3 follow-up texts and I need to call 6 people today. That's what you do. Yeah, and it just makes it easy. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure behind it. What's about to come up? Summer. It's summer everywhere. Doesn't matter where you live. Well, pretty much matter. I guess it doesn't really matter where you live. Everybody gets a summer. But you can just be like, hey, you got any plans for the summer? Like, it's starting to get warm here. Like, what about you? Because maybe if you are living in a different state, you can be like, hey, how's the weather been? It's finally starting to get warm here, but then it gets cold, and then it gets warm, and then it gets cold, because
Yeah.
that's Missouri.
We don't know what season we're in.
We don't know what season we're in. But it's just, that's, being
Conversation.
relational.
Okay.
Exactly. And I know it's so like funny because people bring up the weather all the time, but the weather's the easiest thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Everyone's experienced it. Everyone has an opinion about it. It's not like they go outside and they're like, oh man, I can't even feel it. They can. And they dress for it and they plan things around it and all of that. So, but it's just, call them up and be like, hey, just wanted to see how you were doing. It's starting to warm up here. How's it going there? Like, and people like to talk. If they don't, you can set up and you're like, I feel like this conversation could have gone better, but they seemed a little preoccupied. Create a task to call them in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is also an easy way for you to tag, because if you're like, oh, this person likes to vacation, if you want to start doing a smart plan that's just talking about like hot vacation spots or something like that, then you can do that too. Get creative with it. Or just like, I don't know, putting them on like, okay, these people are maybe gonna buy in like 2 years, or maybe because vacation people, they might want to buy a vacation home somewhere and you can still help them even if you don't live there.
Okay.
And you can put as many tags on a contact as possible. There's no limit. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just processing because I have
Yeah.
people like, they're going on 2 vacations this summer.
There you go.
I met them watching the eclipse,
There you go.
standing in the parking lot, watching the eclipse at a McDonald's and
Yeah.
and I got a conversation going.
Mhm.
Amy stalked them down and found them and we became Facebook friends. She
Right.
messaged me like right away, super excited that I found her and I was like, oh my gosh. So,
Yes.
and then we had coffee, like we met on Monday for the eclipse, we had coffee on Friday that week.
Perfect,
Talked
perfect.
for 2 hours. She
Yep.
did most of the talking.
See, I told you, people like to talk.
Thought they were ready to buy though, like she was like, oh, we'll probably do it in the fall, but you know, I said, oh, we should get started on,
Now,
you know, get an agreement going, get your lender in place, like
Yeah.
your pre-approval, and then that way, if you find your perfect home,
Yeah.
you're ready.
yes.
And because you have travel plans, like you
Yes.
don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Sent the agreement and crickets, nothing. And then I'm like, so then a few days later, I texted her and just said, hey, how's it going? Did you have a good time with your family? Cause I knew they had family visiting.
Mhm.
And then just want to make sure you got my email, you
Yeah.
know? Oh, and then 2 days after that, she texts back, we did get your email, but we're not ready to sign anything just yet. Thank you for understanding.
Yeah.
And now I haven't replied. So I need to reply and follow up because that was like the
Yeah.
end of last week. And first I was gonna just be like, oh, no worries.
You know what would
And
be
now I'm like,
good?
I need to do something.
Do you
to
know
keep
what
the
area
relationship.
they're looking in?
They're kind of by Sequiota and they like that area.
Okay. So what you can do is in their contact card, you can just add neighborhoods.
Which I have their neighborhood in the
Great.
contact thing.
You can add multiple neighborhoods though. So
Okay.
you can do a surrounding, and I would just put, do you have her email? You do,
Yeah.
you do. Put
Yeah,
her on
and
the
she was
neighborhood
like-
picture.
Freely, I had like one of those info sheets.
Yeah,
So I
perfect.
pulled out my folder towards the end of the 2 hours, you know, and was like, well, if I can just get some information. She freely gave me like their address, their email, their phone numbers. And yeah, but then it was like, back off to me and I'm like, okay,
That's
I guess
okay.
it's too early.
That's okay. You know what you can do?
What?
Send a message back and say, I totally understand. If you don't mind, I have an awesome email that you can receive once a month that shows listings that are available in the neighborhood that you're currently in or ones that you're looking or you're interested in. This is just a way for you to see what's out there, and then we can always chat, we can chat about those things later. This is less pushy, and it's literally that email I just showed you. It's like,
And it's fine if I just send it to one person instead of like a group of people.
oh,
Since I know
yeah,
that-
yeah, you can add her to it. So just add her to this. And then when you have more people, just add them to it as you go. It doesn't matter. I mean, do they really need to get it at the beginning of the month? No. It's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, April 1st, like I'm ready to get my monthly neighborhood update.
Yeah.
No, you can add them whenever you want. It's just an option really for mainly those big bulk phone calls you're wanting to do, having a stagger for when you first add a bulk amount of people on there. Because like I said, you don't want to be calling 30 people a day. You just don't. I know. These lights.
are so funny.
Well, it's like, you're not moving around enough,
Yeah, I
Jan.
know. I'm still in my chair.
No worries. But no, that's an easy way to do that. Just respond back and say, hey, if you don't mind, I'm gonna add you to an email that you're gonna get once a month with some listings that are in your current neighborhood that might help you, you know, see what's out there.
Yeah, very good idea.
And then you can follow up with her, you know, maybe in 2 months or right before they go on vacation or after they go on their vacation. And just be like, hey, just wanted to see, have you been looking at my emails? But you know what? You can see
Yeah.
that she opened that email. Or if she clicked and it took her to a listing. You can see all of it. There's so many different options with it, and that's why I say these are the top 4 to start with, because these aren't gonna be overwhelming, right?
Okay.
Once you then start to see, oh, this is how the home anniversary or the birthday smart plan goes, it's just gonna send me a couple tasks every day. Fine, okay, great. Now do your open house follow-up. That's my next one I usually recommend. I'm gonna do it in a different color.
Yeah, and that I need
Open
tips
house
because I
follow-up.
do an open house and I'm not getting information from people
Yep.
and I've got to
Well-
learn how to do that better. I did one with no sign-in sheet. The second one I did a sign-in sheet. I only had one person sign in and then she didn't give me very much information and
Okay.
said browsing. And so I was like, okay, I need to work on my conversation or something with drawing that out of them to get contact information or so I
Okay.
can follow up, because I had people, no agent, looking to buy, you know, they're needing to downsize, whatever. I had two or three couples like that.
Yeah.
Seemed like, oh, super nice, we're chatting away, and then they leave. I gave them, they took my card, they took the house flyer, never hear from them. And I'm like,
So
I
you
didn't do
have
it.
to capture the information.
Yeah.
And
How do I do that?
so, well, that's the thing. Sometimes people do different strategies. So maybe put like a fake name or two, like on the sign-in sheet with like, I don't know, a phone number. Like, is someone gonna really check that? Do like a business phone number. Do like Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't know, whatever. But and then just like, or just put like maybe one of your, you know, your sons or something like that. Like put their information because maybe they have a different name than you. Somebody maybe has a different name, a cousin, a friend, whatever. Put that on there, and then that way sometimes that can be enticing for people to also be signing up, right? So it's like, oh, somebody else signed up. Okay, great. I guess I'll do this. The other thing is you can do open house sign-ins from your website. So go find your listing that you're holding open. You just search for it on your website, and then you click on it and you go back to the URL button up here. You just literally click on it, and then you do forwards or whatever, some sort of slash open house. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna click.
Yeah, I never go to my website. I don't use this, like, I tend to just go to my default of putting things on my calendar to remind myself and
Use
putting
your
an alert
website.
before and all that, like.
That's
for
good.
These things, that's why I'm like, I need to
Good.
utilize smart plans, but
Yeah.
I just am not in the habit of doing it, so.
That's okay. But honestly, then all I did was open house. This is an open house sign-in sheet. You know what this is? It's TCPA compliant. Says that you agree to our terms. By checking this box, you agree that I may contact you by the information they put in, and it's not even that much info.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be a little intimidating. So like I went to an open house in my neighborhood. I was being nosy. So was everybody else that was on my street. Because not many houses go for sale on our street. Like it's very strange that they do. So anyways, this house went up for sale and we were like, let's all go to the open house. And I saw the sheet and it asked for my address. And I was like, I get it, but like, I'm not gonna put my address down. I live
Yeah.
down the street. And I don't want you to see that because you'll know I'm a looky-loo. But you know, we like to see what's out there because we're trying to get more of our friends to move to our neighborhood. But it was also kind of intimidating. This to me seems a little bit less intimidating.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't have to put all these things in. But it looks a little bit easier. Then this contact automatically spend your command. You don't have to do anything. Automatically gets put in. It would show up as a lead never contacted on your dashboard right here. Leads never contacted. It would show up as a lead. And that way you know these are the 6 people that I saw that came through my open house today. I'm gonna go ahead and add them to the open house or the open, because it will also tag them that they was part of your open house because you used your URL or your open house sign-in sheet. So it'll say like captured from open house.
But how do you get the people to go to that to?
Have your
even put
laptop
that
open, say,
information?
hey, if you don't mind, go ahead and sign in for me. I would, you know, I just like to make sure that there's some, what's some of the verbiage? The clients like to see who has come through the house
I
today.
heard that, like the builder, if you're doing a new construction, you know,
Mhm.
the builder or the homeowner wants to.
And I know
see who's
Shanna's
coming
also got
through.
some other verbiage and stuff, but honestly, like there is just so many things that you can say to kind of entice them a little bit to actually fill it out. I would just feel like I like to make sure that I have everyone's information just in case, you know,
Yeah.
what if something got stolen? You never know.
And do people like on my website or whoever's website, if I'm hosting an open house, do people actually go before the open house and like preview it and check it out?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, cause I didn't think so, but
No, but this is cool because it's also very sleek looking. You saw how cool that looked? It's like, and then it shows the photos of the house,
Yeah.
you know, pretty cool. Yeah. Then you add them to your open house smart plan follow-up plan. You're all good. You're gonna talk to them for 21 days until they opt out or until they respond.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, cool. Any other questions about smart plans? They're really just a benefit for you. I mean, get started with a few, you know. Quarterly call plan, like I said, is easy. You're probably gonna have everyone's phone numbers. And then that's an easy way for you to also capture the information that you're missing. Birthdays, that's also really easy. Find it on Facebook. Majority of people have it on there. Very rare that they don't. And then once you actually, you start transacting and have your past clients, home anniversary. So easy.
And then if I have like several of my sons, because I have many sons, many
Yeah.
of their friends are in that age of
Yeah.
getting married.
Yeah.
Maybe looking for a first-time house,
Yeah,
but they're renting right now.
yeah.
Can I go ahead and like set up a smart plan, like first-time
Absolutely.
home buyers and like
Yes.
send out a little
Yes.
newsletter or information and go,
Yes.
hey, I just wanted to let you guys know like what's available around or
Yes.
something and
Yes.
get them going?
Or like, come talk to me. Let's talk about how much you're paying in rent and how you could potentially be paying less in a mortgage and actually be owning something.
And would that be like a text or would that be
Yeah,
a
it'd be
smart
a
plan, like
text.
group thing that goes out to this
You
group
can do a
of
text. You
people?
can also just do an email that you send directly to them if you want to. You can do a smart plan. It's only like 3 steps. You can do it just like sending a email, a follow-up text, and a phone call. Say, hey, just wanted to see if you saw my messages the other day. I know that you are currently renting. I would love to sit down with you and just help you just figure out if you could potentially be paying less each month and actually owning a home. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I'm in that sandwich age, right? So I have
Yeah.
my son's people looking for first-time homes. I have my mom's friends that are
Yeah.
needing to downsize and move to smaller homes and so,
Yeah.
yeah, I have groups of people
Here's an
like that.
education one, because here's the thing, they don't know what steps that they need to take. They don't know that they don't need to come to the closing table with $20,000. They don't know how much they need to be paying for a down payment. So this is like, here's simple emails, 15 days, 19 steps, 10 touches. And these emails has, as you get ready for your home purchase, making sure that they're getting pre-approved, making sure that they're, going through the steps on before they actually dive into it and say like, oh, well, I think my budget's this. No, we need to talk to a lender and find out your actual budget. But this here is like, it's literally gold. From the last email we discussed getting I can't see all of it, but when you add it to your library, you can see the steps.
What was this one called?
It's just a first time home buyer. All I did, again, I went to the library, I typed in first time. Here's first time home buyer. Here's a bunch. Here, the one that I found was first time home buyer education by Antoine Holmes. He's the author. But yeah, so many things. First time home buyer credit, my first time home buyer biweekly email. This is for a different region. It's probably tapping into potentially interest rates and stuff like that. But you could also do the same thing.
So next question, because a lot of these people are in their 20s, right?
Mhm.
They don't really look at email that much. So do I send them a text and
Yeah.
say, hey,
Hey,
heads
I
up,
just-
I
yep.
just sent you an email.
Yep.
Let me know what you think or
Yep.
whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I don't check email a lot of times, but I know they really don't check email.
Yeah. Yeah, send them that.
Okay. And then another question. So I have another son that just got engaged, getting married the beginning of August, moving to Bolivar.
Okay.
I've been like searching houses in Bolivar because I hate, probably like every agent, hate for people to be renting and throwing their money
Yeah.
away. I
Yeah.
want them to buy,
Yeah.
but they're just getting married and they have like 3.5 months to plan the wedding. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's a lot to get you
Yeah.
into a house.
Are they currently running?
Well, he's living at my house right now.
Okay.
And working, and she's teaching, she lives in Bolivar, an apartment.
Okay. Is he planning on moving in with her?
No, so she has 2 roommates, there's 3
Got it.
girls, And because she's a teacher, that's why their wedding is like short, otherwise she was gonna have to wait till Christmas break or something, or next year.
Yeah, it's hard to
And
get
they've
that
been
much time
dating
off.
like 2.5 years and they're
Yeah.
like, we're ready, would you just wanna get married?
Yeah.
But, so she's gonna have to move out of her place.
Yeah.
And they're looking, they just went yesterday and looked at a place that they like. The other thing is the guy wants them to start like May, paying rent, and they're not getting married till August. They're both gonna be living in Springfield area for the summer.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I hate that you're gonna have to pay 2 rents because she still has a lease on her place she's in now.
Yeah, have they spoke to a lender?
No, and I didn't
I
know
would
if
honestly-
I
I
should
mean-
have my son like talk to someone and
Yes.
say.
Cause you're not locked in, I mean, it's not like they're like
And he
signing their
has
life
like
over.
a chunk of money in the bank, like,
Yes, they need to go talk to a lender, cause to be honest, that lender is gonna tell them, like, this is what you can afford, this is how much your down payment would be. It potentially, like, if you're staying within this range, or, you know.
well, and when I
It's
talked
honestly
to
an
a lender
education piece.
before, just to develop a relationship, I kind of threw that out of like, they're gonna be getting engaged sometime, blah, 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 living in Bolivar probably because of where she works and where
Yeah.
he works. And she said Bolivar qualifies for the USDA loan, which is what, no money down?
I don't know.
I think so.
We actually have, U Mortgage is gonna be doing a class next month. We've also got an insurance agent doing a class and a title company. So like first best practices, updated stuff, new things, whatever it is. But yeah, honestly, I would get them in contact with lender. You know that there's tons of lenders that are down here in team meeting every Tuesday.
Well, and
Get
I
them in
found them
contact
like
with
an adorable little 900 square foot, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, new house
Yeah,
in Bolivar that's super cute. But yeah, so my son now, he's traveling for work, so he is in Atlanta, like on his way to Atlanta today. And then we'll be gone for the week, and then, so it's hard for him too to schedule things and meet with people, but.
yeah, it's gonna be their best bet though, because they don't know what they don't know. But when we bought our first house, like, it was very scary. I was just like, I don't know what any of this is, and people think that it's gonna cost them more than it does. So they could potentially be saving $1,000 a month. You never know.
And even if you think like maybe they're only gonna be in Bolivar for a year or something.
Doesn't matter, 'cause
Is it
it's
worth
gonna-
it to buy and sell, or?
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
that's all my stuff, and then I told him, I go, it's okay if you wanna just rent for right now for the first few months or whatever,
But
because.
will that place
you
even
have
let them
so
do
much-
month to month, or were they gonna time into a year?
I don't know. The other problem is I know the guy that owns the house that they were looking at,
Yeah,
and I've known him like forever. He's like another one of my sons, and I'm like, are you kidding? He's not letting you start renting at least July, like not
Yeah.
double paying, you know.
yeah. No, I
Anyway,
get it,
it's a
I
whole
get it.
thing, but I was like, "Ugh, I hate that you're throwing that money away and then you're not even gonna be in 2 apartments you're renting in Bolivar
Yeah,
for 2 or 3 months. They're gonna be paying double, and they're
Yeah.
both gonna be living with, she's gonna live with her parents, he's living with us,
yeah,
and then they're moving there when they get married, but.
yeah.
Wow.
No,
So
I
yeah, I'm
think
trying to
do
help
that.
them.
And then, yeah, just start sending this to like some of their friends and stuff like that. You just gotta start somewhere. That's the point.
Yeah, I just need to utilize this, because like I said, I'm